Oh yeah, this looks pretty good. And I'm here with the Wooded Beardsman. Chris and I are on another adventure. This time we are going to do a little bit of practicing some primitive bushcraft stuff.
I got my axe.
Yeah.
Work on my axeman skills.
So I'm going to work with Chris to build a primitive shelter, show some of the tricks that I use. And then at the end, we're going to rock, paper, scissors and see who has to stay in it tonight. I'm hoping it's not me. I did bring another shelter setup, which I'll show you as well. But first we have to kind of clear our zone here and make this homey little camp. All you need to build this shelter is a saw, an axe, and a little bit of cordage. I happen to have the Silky Big Boy here, but even the Gomboy or one of those other smaller pocket saws would work fine. And if you really wanted to, you could use a hatchet or a tomahawk, I suppose. But I like to have a long-handled axe because they're safer and more efficient. In addition, we've got a dog. She's actually a champion at eating deer flies. Eh? You eat them up. And you've got one of these Agawa folding saws, yep, which we've used on many trips. A full-handled axe and a fowler shovel. Yep. That'll be good. We should set up a proper fire pit here, and I think that'll be key for that.
Yeah, doing more work with different, like, small, easier to carry bushcrafty tools, right?
Yep. Because,
well, I got to brush up on my skills, and I haven't done a lot of shelter building with, you know, doing the survival challenges. We mostly focus on food, so yep, it's nice to get used to using the different tools to actually build something, because it's just expanding on your skill set. So we'll see what we can get done in like maybe 2 hours max.
Yep. Because we want to catch some fish. So we're on this little trout lake. I've never fished it. You haven't fished it in a really long time.
Over 20 years.
Over 20 years. And the road in here has got to be at least 20 years old. It was bumpy. Bottomed out a couple times. But we made it. And we've got a limited amount of time, but we're going to try and maximize our efforts. So quick shelter build, spruce up the campsite, and then when it cools down, we're going to catch some fish. So we're on day 2 of a heat wave. We're plus 30 degrees today. With the humidity, it's above that, and we're just trying to keep cool and keep hydrated, but still have fun and get some work done. So a couple things to keep in mind. Yep. If I was setting this up for a tarp, for example.
Yeah, it's got to be cleaner.
Yeah, I would come by and make sure that all those little branch nubs are like cleared off smooth. So that's, you know, you're doing yep, that with an axe or a knife.
Yeah.
At least anywhere your tarp's touching.
Yeah.
But for our purposes...
We don't have a tarp, Jeremy!
Well, I know. So because we're using branches, it's actually better to leave some of the little knobs on because they're going to help to hold your... Yes, it was good to be sloppy. It's good to...
Is that a backhanded compliment?
Yeah, yeah.
That's his front hand.
The shit sandwich.
Yeah.
So that's the...
yes, Professor Jeremy.
That's just something to keep in mind. And then also, we chose the right trees to start because now we have a pile of firewood starter.
I did that on purpose.
And then all the green for the roof, right? So we're saving ourselves a lot of trouble.
All that was for the roof.
All for the roof?
Well, you picked the dead ones, I picked the live ones.
Yeah.
For the roof.
So, we could always trim them up later too.
Yeah.
Or I'm just going to line them up so they're all kind of the right length for this. Okay. And then we want our tripod to be about 6 feet.
Okay.
And we're just going to do a simple wrap and frap. And I hate cutting rope, but I'm going to cut it. put my knife back in my pocket and not just somewhere beside me so I don't lose it. So we're gonna start under, over, under. And then on, over, under, over. Thanks, Ziggy. I just needed dog kisses to make my day perfect. Oh, you're so gross. Right? So as much rope as you want to use. And then
There's Ziggy.
I'm gonna frap it. You've done tripods before, eh?
Well, sure.
Like a million times?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sturdy ones are good ones.
Oh, well, this is a good
Sturdy
one.
enough.
This is sturdy and good.
Oh, you're so wet down the bottom there. Wet legs.
When you frap it, it helps to keep the friction on your wraps. So it's like kind of key.
Kind of wet down there, dude.
Yeah, she's been swimming to get cool, eh?
What a wet belly.
I don't blame her. And then just tie them off. What did I do here? Left over right and under. Right over left and under. There's a tripod. Oh, where did I put my knife? Oh, it's in my pocket. Hey, bud, go. Get out of here. You're not helpful, you're just a big smelly dog. Right? Now, if you could wrap and frap, you'd be a big helpful dog. Right? Take a picture of that one, it's so pretty. I think we could have gotten away with shorter tripods.
Much shorter.
So we can either spread the bases out, or which isn't a terrible idea.
Go that way.
Looks bad. Are we at the same approximate height there? Så.
Good.
Pass that bag of wire and I'll knock the end off. Merci beaucoup. You able to do chin-ups on there or what?
Doubt it.
You doubt it?
No, probably hurt myself.
Alright. Well, we don't want anybody getting hurt.
No, not until the shelter is built. You're in front of my camera.
You don't think everybody just wants to see my butt?
Yeah, a little bit.
Good? Yeah, I like it so far. The only thing I don't like is we ended up with a pretty skinny leg here.
Yeah.
So we could brace it. There's another hole over here. That's where you hang your socks and underwear to dry. I might just tie that in as a support. So I might just tie that other one in as a support.
Yep.
How close do you want a fire pit to the shelter?
It doesn't have to be close.
Okay, yeah, not because we don't want to light on fire, but we want to have it there to see. I'm gonna throw your axe in a stump, just for dog safety and human safety. Set my rope aside, maybe just shove it in my pocket. Okay. Now there's a nice clayey mineral soil here, and a bit of grass around this spot that I just want to pull out. So one of the things is to minimize the amount of fire spread that can happen through roots or dry organic material. It looks like there might be even a little bit of ash on this site, so maybe we picked a good spot and other people have picked a good spot. Who knows how long ago. So that's got a pretty good mineral base. If I had access to sand, I would maybe fill the bottom with sand, just so the fire can't go anywhere. Some more of that clay mineral soil. So that can be part of the base. Some rich humic soil here. Just gonna push that back because that'll dry out and catch fire for sure. Yeah. And we just have to hunt for some more rocks. There's actually one here that I might be able to pry out. Oh, it's a big one. there's some more of that good mineral soil to line this. And the fire pit. Oh, shovels are really underappreciated, I think, in the bushcraft world. They do a lot of work. Ooh, that's a nice one. Maybe on the lakeside. We take out this rock, Ziggy. We take out this one, and we can put this big guy in and get rid of some of this organic soil by just dumping it down the rock hole. Because we don't want a trip hazard in the dark. Now we're right down into that mineral soil. Nice. You can go there. Fill that hole up. I see some more good mineral soil. I think it's worth the time to move a bit over just to reduce fire risk. And I want to dig this other rock out of here anyways. I think it's got a good shape for a fire pit. That one doesn't want to come out. That's okay. I think we can find easier rocks just to fill this slot in. Okay, here's a few more. I made sure I didn't get them from the water because you don't want to use waterlogged rocks. That's a bad idea. Seems like there's a rock right under there already, Ziggy. Lots of mineral soil. Kind of fits in there. It's kind of like putting together a puzzle sometimes. There's kind of a shortage of rocks actually, so I'm gonna go on a longer walk, see if I can scrounge some up. I'd really like to finish this fireplace up, and I got it kind of dug in, but I'd like it to be a little bit more above ground, so I want to find like a second course of stones. So we'll look for that, and then we'll need a supply of firewood. This is like a classic spot to find rocks, is where there's been some erosion or where a tree is flipped over. And there's another good resource here too, dead hemlocks. And this thick hemlock bark. You like that hemlock bark? Sure, why don't you take it? Makes a really good bed of cooking coals, so maybe when we cook that grouse after, I'll see if Chris wants to do it on a bed of hemlock coals and crisp up some yummy grouse. Oh yeah, this one's rooted in a bit. There we go. Oh yeah, that's a beauty. The only trouble is I have to carry it back now. Find that meaty part of the shoulder, and away we go. Can you scooch out of the way, Zig? Hey, good girl. I don't know where it's gonna have its fit.
God damn it! Son of a bitch! Fuck! Fucking hell!
I heard some bad words on camera.
There's a snake in the boat.
Oh, gross!
Dude, you don't expect to see a snake in the boat.
Gross!
What in the world?
I thought you dropped your camera in the lake.
Holy! Dude, I hate snakes. Every time I see a snake in the woods, I'm looking at the ground. It's a natural thing when you move your feet go. Every single time, and I was not expecting to see a snake move in the boat.
Oh, it's right in the net. I see it. That's an easy way to get it out.
Yeah. I'm not a snake guy.
No, I'm not a snake guy either.
They freak me out. I cannot predict how they're gonna move. They freak me out every time.
Mostly forwards. They don't go backwards very well.
Yeah, but they're so whippy.
Yeah.
I don't mind the big anaconda kind, because you can, as long as you control the head. But these guys, they just go wherever the heck they want. And they spin around and whip around.
So you're less scared of an anaconda.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Because these are whippy.
Yeah, they are.
They're just gonna whip around on you and grab you.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna come out with the net. Look, it's way too active.
Yeah. I'll grab them.
Oh, see how fast it changed direction on me?
Yeah.
These things are a nightmare. It's gone the other way.
Oh yeah. Under my nice hemlock bark.
Yeah. You put it in the boat.
Maybe he came in with the hemlock bark. Hey buddy, don't go to that end. Yeah, he is whippy.
Oh yeah. He's cold.
Because it's 30 degrees out, that's why.
Yeah.
He's got all the heat, all the energy in the world. Ew, it touched my water bottle. Which way do you want to go, buddy? Threw him in a tree.
He's in the tree still.
Oh. Tree. Now it's a tree boa. Went from gutter snake to tree boa. Hey buddy, stay out of our canoe. You ain't got no friends here. Ziggy's got friends here. Oh, Ziggy. Snake. Ziggy snake. I guess if you're from anywhere other than Ontario, you might be scared of this snake because there are venomous snakes everywhere else in the world, but not really Ontario.
Massasauga.
Except for a small part of Ontario,
Massasauga.
which has Massasauga rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
Here, there's nothing that can hurt you. One thing I almost consistently forget to bring on these kinds of adventures is a gathering container or like a foldable, just like a folding grocery bag or like something to just shove things in. But fortunately, Chris brought a bucket. So I'm gonna get a bucket of that hemlock bark that I was talking about. And we are going to primitive cook a couple of grouse. A lot of big tadpoles here, and I think I saw some little baby sunfish. It's not good for trout, but maybe they're just trout food. So that yellow birch is not really the preferred fire starting birch bark, but I didn't see a white birch on this island yet. Now here we have 2 dead hemlock poles, and they have this great fine dead branch tips. This is the kind of stuff that you don't even need bark to light this on fire. You can just make a twig bundle. And it dried out since yesterday's thunderstorm, so I can tell that these are pretty darn dry. So like if you look at this up close, it's basically like bird's nest. So fine. So we're going to use this as our kindling, I guess, in our tinder bundle. We'll use the yellow birch and then hemlock, and then I think I saw some dead cedar branches. We'll use them as our kindling, and then we're going to put the bark as a layer right on top of that. Bigger one. Maybe we'll do a snake catching cook, everybody. Ziggy didn't even see it. Snake. I'm plucked a lot of grouse. I'm probably a master at it. Does that make me a master plucker? Is that in any way funny?
No.
No, it's not. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work at all.
But if I was a mom, I could be a mother plucker. That's a little bit funny. But only when you've been cooking your brains in the heat all day. Try not to eat all the feathers, Iggy. Okay, so Chris split his grouse into a back and the thighs, and the breast and the heel, the breastbone. So I'm gonna do something similar but different. Maybe hook it where the joints catch all the tension from it. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe it's a thing if we switch the lighting. Oh, look at that. It's in color now. Somebody's knife needs to be sharpened. Let's score it. I want to try the one with maple.
That one might not forage.
Oh. Okay, we'll find out. Oh, it definitely looks like it doesn't want to pour as good. Well, all we need to fix that is a toothpick that I just made very handily from this twig. Oh, that really doesn't want to pour well. Okay, well. Let's get a twig. Oh, now it has grouse on it anyway. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's the maple that's making it sticky, I think.
That was gonna get out of it. Oh yeah, there it goes.
Nice. I thought it was a bullfrog at first. It's Ziggy puking up whatever she just ate. A grouse head or a...
A little too rich.
Yeah. Okay. Let's make the nicest, most expedient cooking fire that you've ever seen on YouTube. Look at how nesty that is. Look at how fine those branches are. And got this yellow birch bark. Not the best, but it's gonna do. Okay. Now, we want all those fine branches on top of the birch bark. And then we want our cedar kindling. That's what all this was. We'll put that across here. Let's do the log cabin style. Is that your favorite fire lay, Chris?
Log cabin? No. Teepee.
Teepee?
Yeah.
Let's do the log cabin style. Look at that beautiful little artistic log cabin. Worked with a guy up in the Northwest Territories. He was a Gwich'in native to that region, and he only ever used the parallel fire lay. And every time he would make a fire, what he would do is he would cut the sod with his axe, roll it back to expose the soil. He would do a parallel fire lay, so that's where all your sticks basically are lying in the same direction. Cook on that, usually to like boil up tea. And then when the fire was out, he would roll that piece of sod back, and which is usually like pretty peaty, mossy stuff. And then, like within a short period of time, you would never have known that somebody had stopped there, camped there, had a fire. Anyway, oh Ziggy, you're gross. You're sleeping with Chris tonight. Bleh, 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 bleh. Okay, there's our little log cabin, so beautiful. Now, the hemlock bark, so hemlock, like a white pine, has a thick outer bark, and in these areas you often find it dead snags with bark at the bottom of the tree or all around the base. Look how thick those other pieces are. So we're going to lay those on top. Just a few to start. Just a little more log cabin. Kind of a big log cabin sandwich here now. Okay. While that's getting started, I should show you guys how awesome this expedient shelter turned out. There's Chris's little comfy spot. You can see there's room at the front of the shelter right there, so Ziggy can lie beside him. Got his little comfy spot. Thick, thick, thick roof of boughs. And all looks pretty solid. Got a couple of tools hanging here, so everything looks pretty serious. Looks good. Okay, so I've been adding some bark kind of continuously to this fire, but you see how it's making those nice coals down at the bottom? We want a bed of those. So I think we're just gonna have to put up with a bit of smoke for a minute while these all catch and cook.
We're not ready yet? You can't put it on yet?
You can, it's just gonna be smoky with the hemlock bark, but
cool. Smoke good though? Ouch.
I don't know if the hemlock bark is like a desired smokiness or not, but let's get a good bed of coals going in there.
Ooh.
We've got a pretty good breeze, but it's 30 degrees Celsius out, so trying hard to keep up on my water. Drank this one earlier today. This one's just about empty. So on these camping trips, we basically now always bring this style of gravity bag filtration unit. So they're really straightforward. Just gonna go and scoop a bunch of water off the back of the canoe. You know, get as clean of water as I can get out there, and then just hang it up and let gravity do the rest of the work. It's just like a paper filter, but it filters out all the bad things that you don't want inside you, and kind of inexpensive, no mechanical parts to break, easy to replace the filter, and so I'm a big fan of them. I've had some poor luck with some brands, but this is a Platypus brand bag filter, and so far I have had no issues with it. How hot are those coals?
Really hot.
Works good, eh, the hemlock bark?
Yep.
I really like that trick. I read that in a pretty old book. Yeah, like I couldn't keep my hand here for more than 10 seconds. And the nice thing about them is they coal up pretty fast, but then they last for a pretty good length of time. I'm going to use the same tarp setup that I used in my last video. And I gave a pretty thorough overview of how I do that then, so you're just going to get the quick version now. Step number 1, set up a ridge line. Number 2, set up my tarp. Number 3, my ground sheet. Number 4, my mattress. Number 5, my mosquito box net. And then lastly, my sleeping bag. Now what I learned from camping with Ziggy last time is that while she normally wants to snuggle with me, it's just too hot for her beside me, too hot for her on the mattress. And so I have to leave enough ground space where she can lie on the ground but still be inside the mosquito net, not getting bit by bugs, but also hopefully not damaging the net. And that thought is that I'm going to single size my sleeping setup, so that leaves a huge floor space beside me for Ziggy. I think that's going to work better than if I take up all the space with this lofty sleeping mattress, which she has got no interest in being on because she gets way too warm. But if I set it up, that's not going to work. It's like sleeping on a waterbed. It's too much. So what I have to do is I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to, how am I gonna do this? I know what I can do. I can just deflate it a little bit. That's probably gonna make the difference right there. Okay. Good. Last step. Mosquito box net. Okay, this is a much better setup. So you can see what I did is I have my space set up on the left, and then I have a clearly defined piece of ground where Ziggy has lots of space, but I've pushed out all the edges of the mosquito netting, so I have my backpack holding down a corner, my emergency food bag holding down a corner, a paddle holding down a corner, and then I'll have something at the front to hold down the front piece, and then we should be mosquito proof in there and have our own personal space and sleep better than last night. You're making some massa flour.
Yep. And
you set up a little windbreak. The grouse aren't cooked yet?
Mine might be, yours
not yet.
Maybe not.
Okay. We need more heat in there soon.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yours is cooked?
Yep, mine's cooked. Stick a knife in that breast.
I think this knife last had raw grouse on it.
Probably.
I'll just wash it here by all these grouse carcasses.
In the swamp.
Yep, with the tadpoles. And the giardias. Heat it up down there for a second. There's not really much fire left in here.
Nope. It's hard to keep it actually, because the hemlock just shoots up and then dies down, and then
I find the coals last for a pretty long time.
They last, but it's hard to get the level right too.
Yeah.
Up and down, up and down.
That part's cooked. Right, Ziggy, you know what you're after. Get your nose out of there. That's for me. Oh. The maple adobo really has some maple
Oh, you can
flavor.
taste the maple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gentle.
Yeah, it's tricky because grouse tends to be dry, which is why we do it with the skin on.
Yeah.
Your other way around that is like pack in some bacon or like baste it.
Yeah. Braise or baste.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just cook it in stock or water. Or if you're going to roast it on a stick, just keep putting something, butter on it or bring some ketchup. Oh, I like that.
Or some proper sauce, like some Sweet Baby Ray's.
Nice. It's getting a little shadier and cooling down a bit, eh? Especially with that breeze. I was really feeling the heat when I was setting up my camp, though.
Yeah.
What? Gonna enjoy this, and then we'll think about going fishing.
Not think about it. We're gonna do it.
Okay. I do hope we catch some fish.
You want to guinea pig that?
Why I want to guinea pig that?
It's old massa flour.
Old. Old as the Aztecs.
It smelled better once it put the water in it. Brought it back.
Seems okay.
Seems fine.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't stocked this year, so a 3-pounder, but probably not today. Crazy.
Yeah, it's peaceful out, but it is really, really hot.
Here, look at it.
Oh yeah. Big mayfly not getting eaten. And all the surface splashes that we've seen have been tadpoles at the surface.
Oh, what is that? That is a big giant tree.
Oh yeah? Wow.
You're on the surface, eh? Did you know that?
Pretty much. Well, I guessed I was close.
I'm gonna get stuck here.
Okay.
Yeah, you're spinning. Uh-oh. Don't do that to me.
Mark your GPS. Come back here and eat them all. Yeah, it was a pretty hard night bite. So at least we're getting treated to some loon calls right now. And all the thrushes. And I'm just gonna get ready for bed because it's gonna be sunset soon. Basic. And we got a better setup than in our last video, if anybody wants to go back and check us out doing the island survival with the wooded beardsman. Hey bud? Alright, well that's it for fishing. So it's dark, it's bedtime. There's my bed, sleeping bag. I'll set that up still. I'm gonna use my axe to block the mesh at the foot of the bed. My backpack is blocking it at this end. Paddle, life jacket, emergency bag. So that's all holding down the edge because the mosquitoes will start coming out soon. And then you can see I've got like this big space here where Ziggy can lie just on the ground and she'll be close to me but not touching me and not overheating. Well, we have a good night. So, success. All that work to block off the netting paid off, because there are hundreds of mosquitoes hanging around here, but they're all on the outside. So them all here, they're all on the outside of the net. They like this shady spot now, though. I wish they would have just flown off, go spend the day somewhere else, but we'll just kind of sneak out of here and go do our thing. My narrow bed plan worked out really well, so Ziggy just stayed on this patch of sand here beside me. Thanks, Ziggy. Thanks. Thanks. I should have deflated the batch just a little bit more, though. It's kind of sliding around. But I did sleep really well last night, actually. It was good. So, good morning. I even used a bit of bug spray and they're still all over me. So, just a quick bit about my setup. I do like this. This has kind of just become a standard setup for me. I left the sides loose because I wanted the breeze to be able to flap the walls a little bit, right? So we get like little pulses of air coming in anytime there's a breeze, which is really nice. So all the corners of my mosquito net are taut line hitches, slippery taut line hitches. So when I want to take it down, it's just quick to pull the knot and away it goes. Same thing for all my tarp ties. So they are slippery bow lines on the tarp and slippery taut line hitches wherever I've tied them down, and then they're quick to release and pack everything up. Oh, we need to put bumpers in the sides of the canoe so Ziggy can only sit in the middle. She throws her weight around to one side or the other, and then we're like riding sideways. We're trying to counterbalance you, Ziggy. It's better if you lie more in the middle. We had a pretty expedient shelter building process, which was really nice. It went really fast with 2 people working and being efficient. But can't just leave these things up everywhere we go, so now we're going to dismantle it and return this site to its pre-shelter condition. We're going to leave the fire pit. This is a really nice spot to return to, and the firewood in case somebody else wants to take advantage of it. But you really shouldn't be leaving structures around. So here we go. You gonna help? You gonna help? And drop it. If we leave one teepee off to the side, we can just lean all that pole wood against it, and that might be dry firewood or framing poles for somebody else who finds this spot. And I'll just have to collect all my missile pieces of rope. Oh, the rope is, that's like every time I go to Princess Auto.